In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to draw a monopolistic diagram simply. Firstly, we need to know the characteristics of monopolistic competition. There are many firms. They have slightly differentiated goods and services. An example would be a wet market where they have lots of fruits and fish, and the only thing that differentiates between them and their competitors is their origin, size, and color. And because of this, they have very low market power. The barriers of entering the market will be very low, and there are very close substitute goods. And in the case of my example, there are many other wet markets that sell fruit, fish, and vegetables. So as a whole, the demand curve is relatively price elastic. This is because there are very close imperfect substitute goods available, and the marginal revenue is twice as steep as the average revenue. Moving on to normal profit, which usually happens in the long run. With the assumption of profit maximization, which is marginal cost equals marginal revenue, at this point we are able to find the quantity produced, which is Q, and at the same time we are able to find the average revenue, which is AR. Because the average revenue received from the firm is essentially the price, AR equals P. And in the case of normal profit, the average cost curve intersects with the average revenue curve, which leads to AC equals P. So to calculate the total revenue, we use price multiplied by quantity, which gives us this purple box here, illustrating the total revenue. And at the same time, we use average cost multiplied by quantity, and that gives us our total cost. And the boxes are the same, which means this firm is making normal economic profit. Moving on to profits in the short run. Again, we assume profit maximization from this firm, which is MC equals MR. From this point, we are able to find the quantity, which is here, the average revenue, which is here, and also the average cost, which is here. And calculating the total revenue, which is P star multiplied by Q, which gives us the green box, and the average cost multiplied by quantity, which gives us the red box. And the difference between total revenue and this total costs is the profits, which is indicated by the purple box. And as a rule of thumb, when the average revenue is greater than the average cost, this will result in supernormal profit. Moving on to loss in the short run. Same as before, at profit maximization, this is when marginal cost equals marginal revenue. At this point, the quantity is here, the average cost is here, and the average revenue is here. To work out the total revenue, this is P star multiplied by Q. And to find out the total cost, this is AC multiplied by Q. And to work out the losses, this is the difference between the two, or AC minus P star multiplied by Q. As a rule of thumb, when average revenue is less than the average cost, this results in an economic loss. Now let's see why profits are unsustainable in the long run in monopolistic competition. As the firm is making a profit, this is very attractive for competitors to come in and compete, so potential producers will enter the market. They then compete for this economic profit, and new firms will increase the substitute goods. And as there are more firms in the market, there will be more substitute goods in the market for the consumers to consume. As a result, this will shift the demand curve to the left. Over time, the profits will be competed away, and which will result in normal profits in the long run. And this is a similar case for losses in the long run. When firms are making losses in monopolistic competition, rational firms which are making this loss will exit the market, and the number of substitute goods will decrease. This leads to the demand curve faced by the firms to shift to the right. And producers that are making an economic loss will ultimately make normal profits in the long run. I hope that helped. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye bye.